Hello everybody, I am Kathy Champion and this is my very first video on YouTube. I am bringing you crafting ideas and projects, and hopefully I can teach someone new a little something. Anyway, I hope that you will follow me on my adventure. If you would please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell, and that way you can be notified every time I put a video up. Today I thought I would start out with doing a little demo on the We Are Memory Keepers 123 punch board. Now I use this punch board more for making envelopes than anything else. You can get the We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board, which only does envelopes, but this one will actually do the envelopes, these beautiful little paper bows, and you can also create boxes. But today I'm just going to concentrate on an envelope. If you will notice, this actually folds out. You have all of your measurements, and let's see, I want to make sure that you can see this. You have all of your measurements here. Your envelopes are in blue. Your bows are in 2. This will give you your bow size, what your paper size should be, and also where your punch guide would be, which right here is your punch guide. And these are so nice because they are broken down into eighths, and sometimes I know the eighths are sometimes a little difficult to read on a regular ruler. But before we get started, we're going to look and see. I am in need of a 6x6 envelope because I'm mailing out a card tomorrow. And to do a, let's see, I have my notes right here. I wrote them down because sometimes my eyes are not as good as they used to be. So for a 6x6, we're going to need a 9 3/4 piece of paper. And you always start out with a square piece of paper. So I'm going to move the punch board off of my work surface for just a moment. And I am going to bring my trimmer in, and I have a 12x12 piece of pink paper. Now I chose pink for my envelope. My oldest daughter's puppy dog passed away last week, and I'm actually sending her a little sympathy card. Her dog was her baby, and she has grieved quite a bit. But we're going to need this piece of paper to be 9 3/4. So we're going to go here to 9 3/4. I am going to come up in the center and sink my blade, go up and down, and then we're going to turn it, and we're going to do 9 3/4 one more time. And this will give us the square that we need. Now I'm going to hang on to these scraps because we never get rid of our scraps, not anything that's large enough to use. So now I am going to put this away, and we're going to bring the punch board back. And we're going to open it up. It does have a swing arm. If you'll notice, this swings out, which this right here is your actual scoring. I hope I'm in camera range. I'll bring it over like this so you can see the arm. You also have a wonderful little tool here. You can use your regular stylus, but this little tool does work wonderfully. So what you're going to do at this point, you only have to line your paper up one time to the measurement. When I first got this, I was doing it all wrong. My envelope would never come out right. I ended up having to go to YouTube to figure out exactly how to use it. So that's kind of what inspired my video for today, is I figured anybody that has this punch board and they haven't completely learned how to use it, this might be a good way to kind of get the gist of how it works. So what we're going to do, we are going to put it in at 4 7/8. So here's your 4 7/8. This is 7/8. I'm going to bring this down this way so hopefully everybody can see this. This is 4, 4 1/2, and this is 4 7/8. So you want to make sure your paper lines up right there. Then what you're going to do is punch, and you're going to put your little styling tool in here, and you're just going to score. That's all you do. You don't have to worry about this particular measurement anymore. No more measuring, which that's great for us that don't like to measure. You're going to turn your paper a 1/4 of a turn to your left, and this score line is going to line up now every time on this line. So you're just going to line it up, And you're going to punch. You always punch and score. Turn it. Line it up. Punch and score. Turn it. Line it up. Very repetitive. Punch and score. Now that's all there is to it. You do have a wonderful little tool that's built in that is like a quarter rounder. So if you don't have a quarter rounder and you have this punch board, you have one. All you do is put your paper in right here, and this will actually give you a rounded corner. So if you want your envelope to have the pointed look, you leave it as it is, but I'm going to round it so I can show y'all how to do this. Just put it in and punch it. Gives you a wonderful little rounded edge. So I'm going to go around and I'm going to do this for all of my edges. And once you're done with that, your envelope's ready to put together. So now I am going to push my scraps out of the way. We're going to put our punch board away. And I always fold against my score line. So if I scored this way, I turn it over and I fold in this way. And now I'm going to get my bone folder. I like this Teflon bone folder. So I'm going to go ahead and score this. Turn it and burnish it down. This is very important to get those nice crisp folds that you want. Also makes your envelope much easier to glue down when you get ready to glue it. But anyway, all you do now is you put these two pieces together. You're going to put your glue along the side. What I usually do in a situation like this is I will put, and this is my all-time favorite glue, it is Art Glitter Glue, and I will put just a dab of glue right here, just a dot, just enough to get that piece to adhere. Then I will run my glue along this side of the envelope, and I want to make sure that y'all can see this. And I just run a very thin bead all the way around, and then I fold this up, pressing it in. You want to make sure that your glue doesn't come into this side of the envelope. And now, as you can see, you have a wonderful envelope that a 6x6 card will fit into perfectly. This is my little sympathy card for my daughter who lost her beloved puppy dog and was her companion for almost 12 years. And there you go. I'm also going to show you while we're here, I'm going to show you how to do an envelope for an A2 card, because the A2 card is your standard measurement of cards. It seems like it's the most popular card. It's very easy to do. And with this one, you're going to start out with a piece of paper that is 8 1/4 by 8 1/4. So I'm just using a regular piece of cardstock. And we know this is 8 1/2, so I only have to take a 1/2 inch off of this. So we're going to go over, or 1/4 inch, I'm sorry. It's 8 1/2. So we are going to take a 1/4 inch off. So I'm putting it to 8 1/4. And we're going to cut that little 1/4 inch off. And we're going to turn it this way, and we're going to do 8 1/4. Again, you always start, like I said earlier, with a piece of square cardstock or paper. Parchment paper makes gorgeous envelopes. And another thing I like to do is I like to stamp my envelopes. So a lot of times before I glue them together, I'll place my stamps on it and stamp them. All right, let's pull out the envelope punch board one more time. We are going to pull the swing arm out so that we have room to do the scoring all the way down. This time we are going to measure it to 3 5/8. So there's your 3, and 3 5/8 is, let me see, where are my glasses? Again, old eyes. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this. Maybe some of you can't, but it is 1 notch past your 1/2 inch. So 3 1/2, and right there is 3 5/8. So what we're going to do is we're going to punch and score. Again, we're doing the same thing we did a while ago. We're just going to punch and score, and I'm lining it up again right here. This little nub that sticks out, the last one over, is where you want to line it up to. Punch and score. Lining it up once again. I'm going to punch and score. And we're going to line it up one more time and do our punch and score. Let's get this out of our way. And again, like I said, I'm going to turn it over and we'll varnish these up using this Teflon bone folder. It's so nice to be able to make an envelope any size that you need, whether it's for a card or whatever you might need it for. We don't always have envelopes in the house, or sometimes we run out. If you got a piece of paper, even a piece of copy paper, you can always make a nice little envelope. Well, you know what I didn't do? I didn't round my corners, but that's okay. I'm going to leave this one pointed to show you. Now, if you notice with this one, it doesn't lap over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my bead of glue. Instead of on this side, I'm going to run it on this side. So once again, I'm going to take my art glitter glue, and I'm going to run a small bead right along here and right along here. This is without a doubt the best glue in the world. I love it. And I have a couple of people that you can get it from. One is maymaymadeit.com. She has an online store as well as a brick and mortar store in Robina, Alabama. And I learned quite a bit of my crafting skills from Maymay. Also, Edith Ray at scrapbookingwithme.com. She has an online store, and she also sells the art glitter glue. And you can get it from either one of those ladies. I'm sure that they would appreciate the order very much. But as you can see, let me see if I can grab a A2 size card, and I know I have some over here. Let's see. This is a pretty little easel card that I made, and an easel card is like this. And I will do a tutorial on how to do these as well. These are very simple. You can decorate them in a million different ways. And when the recipient gets them, they can sit it up on their desk like this, or in their kitchen or their mantle, whatever. But it's just a nice little way to send a card. And I'll show you that this fits in the envelope just perfectly. Make sure you get your little dimensions down in there. But there you go. There's 2 envelopes that was made so simple and so easy. Again, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. And like I said, this was my very first video. I was a little bit nervous about starting this endeavor, but I so want to share what I know with other people. I remember when I started out, I did not know where to go, and I kind of floundered for a while. But you know, I'm hoping that people will find me on YouTube and that I can bring a little warmth from my craft room to yours and share a little bit of knowledge, and that is my desire. I want to make friends and encourage people along the way, and I just hope everyone has a very blessed day. Tell someone you love them, and be sure to tune in next time for my next video. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.